Yeah, I'd like to leave a little bit of truth with some people here. This person commented on my channel, and he used to believe that Jesus was God. I get quite a few of these. These are people who seek truth when they actually are reading scripture themselves instead of just going by what they're told. They can see the truth in scriptures. It says, God our Father had mercy on me to open my eyes to Christ's words. If a person has no questions about the Son of God's eternal submission to the Father, then they cannot see yet. This verse was a great riddle to me for 18 years until someone suggested that Jesus was not God, but God's Son. 1 Corinthians 15:24 through 28. Then the end will come when he hands over the kingdom to God the Father after he has destroyed all dominion, authority, and power. Remember, thrones, dominions, authorities, and rulers. Ephesians 1, Colossians 1:15. He is all things were made through him, right? All of these things were made because of him, for him, because Christ is going to be the one who is ruling. And so he put all of his enemies under his feet, right? He has destroyed all dominion, authority, and power. So he has authority and power and dominions and rulers because of these are positions of power. Remember, we fight against darkness, the spiritual darkness. So he comes against these spiritual darkness with his own authority and power and dominion. So he must reign until he has put all his enemies under his feet. The last enemy to be destroyed is death, for he has put everything under his feet. Now, when it says that everything has been put under him, it is clear this does not include God himself, who put everything under Christ. Okay, again, God is above Christ. Christ has put everything under his feet, but when it says everything under him, it does not include God himself, who put everything under Christ, right? When he has done this, then the Son himself will be made subject to him who put everything in him, so that God may be all in all. Remember, Christ's reign, as far as having all of this authority and power, is for a limited time. He's still going to reign, but he's not going to reign with that much supremacy as far as being at the right hand of God in that way. He's going to have his own kingdom, and he's going to be God's right hand man, but he's not going to rule over all of these things in the way that God would ultimately, right? He's still going to be subjected to God in the end, right? So God may be all in all, and he says the fulfillment of Psalm 110:1 is, the Lord said to my Lord. Notice in the Hebrew, it's Jehovah said to El Adoni. Okay, not the Lord said to my Lord. In the Hebrew, it's the God of Israel, Jehovah, or Yahweh, however you want to say it. Jehovah said to El Adoni, and that's the servant or a master. So God said to my master, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet. This is a time. This is a limited time, and then Jesus Christ himself will be subjected to God. And we can see in the NIV, for he has put everything under his feet. Now, when it says that everything has been put under him, it is clear this does not include God himself. Okay, notice one person is being called God. Does this say the Trinity? No. Does this say the first person of the Trinity? No. It says God. Okay, so we have God and we have Christ. And it tells you it is clear this does not include God himself, who put everything under Christ. God does not put anything else under God to rule for a time, and then God's going to give it back to God and then be subjected to God for all eternity in his human nature, so God can be all in all. Trinitarians have turned the gospel into a real freak show. Okay, they'll never be able to show you where Jesus Christ himself says he's God, so they spend their lives trying to prove it. Let me show you, right? Let me show you that Jesus is God. And then they try to prove the Trinity, but they can't even answer my 5 deadly questions sent to Trinitarians. So the more I've dialogued with Trinitarians, the more I see that their arguments are just weak, they're unfounded, they're unbiblical, and lots of people are coming out of the Trinity because they can't be murdered today for not believing in the Trinity. They can't be roasted alive. They're still going to be hated by a lot of people. They're going to be called a heretic and non-Christians. But a lot of people decide that, hey, if I'm going to be a Christian and I'm going to follow the gospel, I got to stick to what it teaches. Otherwise, what's the point, right? I'm just going by the presuppositions of men. I'm going by the Nicene Creed, the Athanasius Creed, all of these creedal statements that don't align with the gospel. So a lot of people are up on their high horse. They go by the majority, hey, you heretic, because they have a contentious spirit about them. They feel that if they're in the majority, they can't be wrong, right? But again, it tells you in the gospel to enter through the narrow gate, for the road to destruction is wide. So I just wanted to bring this comment here. I think it's a great comment. Jesus Christ is ruling for a limited time until he has put all his enemies under his feet. Now, when it says that everything has been put under him, it's clear it does not include God himself. So everything but God. God's still ruling over the Messiah. It's for a limited time, and then eventually, when all the things have been subjected and put under his feet, then the Son himself will be made subject to him who put everything in him under his feet. Awesome verse, and we can see Jehovah said to my El Adonai, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet. God bless you.